Hi everyone and welcome back. So in today's video, I am going to swatch all my concealers. I have 10 of them. I am going to swatch them and review them. All of these are drugstore under 1,000 rupees. I am going to let you know which are my favorites when I swatch and review these. Also, please watch this video till the end or just check out the description box for timestamps because in the end, I am going to compare all of these concealers and let you know more about the undertone and the shades. So let's get started. I'm starting off with concealers that I use for a natural makeup look. They can totally be used for a glam look as well, but I prefer using them for a natural look. And the first is the e.l.f. Pro Conceal HD Concealer in Pure Beige. It retails for ₹695. It comes in 36 shades, which include correctors as well. It's very smooth and creamy. It comes in this tube with a cap and has a brush to dispense the product. Now this looks extremely natural on the skin. You can do a natural look and a full coverage look with this concealer. It's good for dry and combination skin, but will work on oily skin as well. It's very blendable, lightweight and long wearing. It just needs a bit of powder as the finish is semi-matte, more like dewy on my skin. A very important thing about this concealer is if you are applying it on top of foundation, please use a concealer brush to blend, not a makeup sponge. If you use a makeup sponge, it will move the foundation. It will kind of lift the foundation and you're left with a patch. Next, I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in medium Tawny. This retails for ₹499 on Nykaa and it has got 7 shades. Now this is a medium coverage foundation which is buildable. Obviously, the finish is dewy. This is the most natural looking concealer that I have. It's very blendable. It has a very hydrating formula and it's also very lightweight. Again, you can blend it with either a concealer brush or a makeup sponge. You can also use your fingers if you're going for a super natural look. This doesn't oxidize a lot and the shade medium tawny is something that corrects my under eyes and conceals the dark circles at the same time. So it's a corrector plus concealer shade for me and it looks very natural. Then I have the Swiss Beauty Liquid Concealer in 06. This retails for ₹229 and it comes in 6 different shades. The shade range of this concealer is very weird. I thought I had the darkest shade until I read this comment and realized I have the lightest shade. There definitely should be more light and deep shades, which I hope they add in the future. This is a lightweight concealer, again with a semi-matte finish. Love the coverage, but you need a powder to set it, especially if you have oily skin. It will work phenomenally for dry combination skin as this has a very natural finish. It also oxidizes to a darker shade, so you have to keep that in mind while choosing a shade. Next up, I have the Flicka Cover Story Liquid Concealer. This retails for ₹315. It comes in 5 shades. It has got a very strong fragrance and you can buy it from Amazon or Flipkart. I don't know why their official website is not opening on my phone, so that's why I'd say that you buy it from Amazon or Flipkart if you want to. This concealer does crease. It has got a matte finish almost, as you can see, and it's very blendable, but it does crease badly, so you have to set it with a powder. It's not very buildable as it lifts away the bottom layer if you try to build it up. This is a full coverage concealer. This was sent to me by the brand. I did not purchase it. The finish is demi-matte on my skin and it's blendable, but not as lightweight as the previous concealers. Now let's talk about some glam concealers, which means they either have medium or full coverage and most of them have a matte finish. Number 1, I have the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 25 medium. This retails for ₹475 and it comes in 9 shades. Now this concealer is very creamy, it's very blendable and it's also very lightweight. It has got a medium to full coverage. I just love this concealer for highlighting. It sits beautifully on my skin. It looks flawless on my skin and it's non-cakey as well. So you can see this is more of a highlighting shade for me. This concealer too oxidizes to a shade darker, so you have to keep that in mind while picking your shade. Next, I have the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This retails for ₹620 on Nykaa. It's available in 14 shades and I have the shade medium. I hate the packaging, I have to say that. It looks super dirty and it doesn't fit on my under eyes, which I don't like at all. It's not a very hygienic packaging. Coming to the concealer, this is a full coverage concealer. It has a little bit of white cast, not too prominent. It's got a demi-matte finish, but I have to say that this concealer is my perfect match. Like you can see the undertone, it's just beautiful. And yeah, this shade looks really good on my olive skin tone. It doesn't oxidize a lot, so choose your exact shade. I use the shade Neutralizer as well for my eyeshadow base when I want to use some colors. Next up, I have the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This has got a matte finish. It retails for rupees 600. Actually, when I bought it for 620 because the MRP was 800. And I have the shade Tan Walnut, which is a perfectly neutral shade. I'd say a bit more to the cool side. Now, I purchased this shade to correct my under eyes because it has got a pink tone. Although it's very neutral, as you can see, it looks okay on my under eyes. This concealer has got a giant doe foot applicator. It's something that will work for oily skin type because it's very matte and it settles very quickly. So you have to be very quick with this concealer. You have to blend it immediately. It's a full coverage concealer. It's lightweight. It doesn't settle in fine lines as much as the other concealers because it's matte. It does oxidize a lot, so pick a shade or two lighter. Then I have the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer in the shade 314 Beige. This comes in 25 shades on their official website, but on Nykaa it's available in just 3 shades. And also on Purple, I checked it out. There too, I think they have just 3 shades. This retails for rupees 7.99. This has got a little bit of white cast. Again, nothing prominent, but the shade is so good. It's my perfect concealer shade again. You can see this has got like the perfect undertone. It's full coverage, very much like the e.l.f. one. Again, has a huge gigantic doe foot applicator. It has got a matte finish. You need to work fast or it sets. The formula is good for covering blemishes, but you have to pick the right shade. Also, it doesn't oxidize a lot, as you can see. It's good for almost all skin types because I feel it's not as matte as the e.l.f. one, so it may work on dry skin as well. Next up, I have the Sugar Magic Wand Waterproof Concealer in the shade 30 Chococcino. This retails for rupees 7.99 and it comes in 6 shades. This has a more creamy consistency with a normal sized doe foot applicator. It's blendable, it blends easily, but don't apply it and leave it on your face for a long time, otherwise it will set. So the pigmentation is great, it's full coverage. So start with the least amount, I'd say a few dots. Also, the undertone is really good. It has got a warm undertone. It does oxidize a bit and you can see a hint of orange when it oxidizes. But yes, the warm undertone is constant. Now finally, I have the Miss Clair Fake It Ultimate Cover Concealer in 04. This retails for rupees 250 and it comes in 4 shades. This is a medium to full coverage concealer, very lightweight, liquidy. You need to work fast. Again, this has an almost matte finish. This does oxidize a lot, so you have to be very careful while choosing a shade. I'm not a big fan of this concealer, but I mean it's good for the price. Now here is a comparison of all the concealers. I swatched all of them on my hand. Now you can see that the e.l.f. concealer is the only concealer that looks a bit different from all the other concealers, because all the other concealers that I have are warm toned and the e.l.f. one has a very neutral undertone. Also, you can see that the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD Concealer and the Wet n Wild Concealer can work as a corrector and a concealer at the same time. The Swiss Beauty one is more on the pink side. Then the Flicka concealer is more on the yellow side, as you can see. Then the Maybelline Fit Me concealer has a mixture of both yellow and pink. The Maybelline Age Rewind concealer is just my perfect shade. It has got that perfect yellow olive kind of undertone. Same is the case with the L'Oreal Infallible Full Cover Concealer. The Sugar Magic Wand concealer has got a yellow undertone, definitely. And the Miss Clair concealer again has a mixture of yellow and pink undertones, just like the LA Girl and the Wet n Wild one. So I'd say that the Sugar concealer and the Maybelline Age Rewind and the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear are my perfect match. Also the Flicka one. So these 4 are my perfect match that I have. They are exactly my skin tone. That's it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you find it helpful. I am going to do a video like this with my foundations as well. And yeah, that's it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.